I'm talking to Katy Perry. Congratulations, first of all, on
Hi.
Prism.
Thank you very much.
And I heard all the way through a number of times Unconditionally, and I couldn't help but think this is a wedding song. Do you picture this being performed or being played at weddings?
Maybe. I hope so. It's about that kind of highest level of love.
Yeah.
And that's what you should have to get married.
And it's devotional too. It's
very devotional, and it's just, about a love that is free of fear and full of acceptance, and a love that you strive to have. When you're first getting into a relationship, sometimes you can be a little scared to show your true self, and you wonder if that person will really accept you without makeup or with all of your flaws and your idiosyncrasies and your imperfections. And if they do, then they love you unconditionally.
Speaking of makeup, you've been in makeup since 3 a.m. today.
Yes, my face is falling apart right now. Thank you very much.
Katy, you look terrific to me, but how do you cope? This is obviously a massive day for you, but it's not unusual for you to work.
It's not unusual, especially with release week, of course. It's hard, definitely, singing in the morning. When you're a little kid and you're singing with your hairbrush in front of the mirror, you don't think to yourself, I hope I can do this at 6 a.m. But I think that I just remember that I don't have to do it every single day. But I'm very proud of this record. And so it's exciting for me to talk about it.
Okay. I did watch you this morning. I thought she's probably the queen of pop right now. She's very powerful. She's popping a bubble that's blowing.
Actually, this bubble is just going to sit on my hand magically because I'm a witch. Like this.
Being as powerful as you are and successful as you are, you don't have to prove yourself anymore. Do you ever just want to say, I don't want to do the 6 a.m. TV show?
Yeah, I do.
I'm Katy Perry. Can I just not do it?
And then they'll say, we'll give you chicken nuggets. My vice. No, I just know that it doesn't matter how much success I've had, that you always have to keep working really hard. And if not, someone else is going to come and work harder than you and take that. I mean, I think that my songs are really what it's all about, and hopefully if I can connect with my core and remember my love for music like I did when I was 13 and picked up the guitar, then it will always serve me well. And I have a lot of vulnerability in my songwriting, which becomes kind of like my strength.
I don't understand.
Meaning like people, I think, relate to the music because it's vulnerable and honest, and like there's a lot of truth in the lyrics, and people always ask me, aren't you scared to be so revealing and personal? And I'm like, no, that's actually how I win. I think people really relate and resonate with it.
I felt that with Unconditionally, is to sing that you can't be cynical. You kind of have to step into a pure place.
Yeah.
An honest, sort of earnest place.
Yeah, I went through a real transitional period in my life. This spring, it was like I came to a fork in the road of my life journey, and I decided to just kind of serve myself better and do a lot of self-reflection. And I went on a cleanse and got really deep with myself. But a lot of the great songs came out from that. I went from a dark place to a very light place.
You sound really spiritual when you talk in that way.
A bit like new agey hippie, yes.
But also, I mean, your history is famous about how you were the daughter of some very religious people.
Yes.
And you didn't really know pop culture until you hit 16 or 17.
Yeah.
What do your parents now think of you and your job and your level of exposure? Do they worry for you more?
I'm sure in their own way, as parents do, they worry. But, I think me and my brother and sister turned out okay, and we're not on drugs, we're not in jail. I'm out there singing positive anthemic messages, so they like that. But, I don't always sing positive anthemic messages. I sang about kissing a girl when I first came out. So, they like it. I'm sure in their ideal world, I would be like a preacher or something, but then when you're a parent, you have these ideas of your kids, and then your kids become adults, and they just become their own beings and make their own choices.
Did you feel that for a moment in your career there was danger that you'd always be the I kissed a girl person?
No, because if I knew that was possible, I would never have I would have waited to play that card. So I was okay with going with that song first because I knew I had songs like Hot and Cold.
Yep.
And I had songs like Waking Up in Vegas and Thinking of You on the same record. Right. So I was okay. It wasn't the only ace up my sleeve.
Speaking of playing cards, you were famously talking about playing the nudity card just recently.
Yeah.
I noticed in your career that I often look for your cleavage in your music videos.
Well, it stands out.
It's
when you have a D size, it just you can't tape them down enough.
Did you ever sort of want to just go, okay, I'm not doing that anymore, or is it just?
Well, I mean, you get to a certain age. I'm 29 now, where your body starts kind of falling apart, and you're like, I just can't do it because you won't see anything besides cellulite. So, I mean, if I did have some of those younger bodies like Miley's or Rihanna's, maybe I would be sprawling out there a little bit more. But I did do it in the teenage dream era. But I think I did a lot of other things too. And I think it's important to not just play the sexy card. Be sexy, be smart, be sophisticated, be all those things as well.
Well, you're different in that you write songs.
Yes, I don't shop for my songs.
No.
I shop for my shoes.
Well, you use Max Martin a lot, who is, he's the guy.
Yeah, he's like my Oz, actually. I'm his little Dorothy.
So what happens when you hang out together? Is it magic?
Well, he is fantastic with melodies. I mean, this man, that's why like a lot of the little kids, he's like the melody maker. I'm good with melodies. My forte is lyrics. And you can see that with the through thread on all of my albums. There's a lot of different colors in the lyrics. But, when we get together, it's just a combination of great melodies and great lyrics. And with Dr. Luke involved, a great production. So, yeah.
My daughters talk about songwriting. Their father's a musician.
Oh.
And I always say to have the power as the performer, you need to write. Would you agree about that?
Absolutely. To have that utmost power that separates you from everyone else, writing is the key. And also playing an instrument. I picked up a guitar at 13, and that really helped me find my voice as an artist.
Do you still speak to your childhood friends?
Some of them, yeah. Like some of the friends I went to high school with. I didn't really go to high school, but grade school. A couple of them. I traveled all around the USA. I moved like 7 to 9 times or something from 3 to 11. So I didn't get a chance to make really solid friendships. Sure. But when I moved to LA at 17, which, was essentially 12 years ago, I have all those same friends in my life.
Do they call you out if you're ever getting...
Yes. Oh, yeah, they call me out. They know who they are. I have great friends that are not afraid of, just telling it like it is. And my sister, too. She tells it like it is. My whole team around me, has been with me when I was in the negative in my checkbook. So they know me.
They know you.
Yeah, they're not afraid.
There's been talk in the media about box gap, or the gap between your thighs.
Is that from Jemay?
It is from Jemay. Yeah. Have you seen Jemay?
Yes, I love Jemay.
How great
I
is
love
she?
Chrysalie.
So I'm just, mad. Another thing to make women crazy, is this next thing that we can't attain. Do you think a box gap is attractive?
We've talked about that growing up, I think in high school, but it's not everything. I mean, your body just changes after a while. And when you get into your 30s, which I'm not yet, but I've heard about it and I hear it's great, you're not so worried about outward opinions. You're more interested in serving yourself finally in a good way, in a healthy way. Box gap is cool if you're a teenager, but it's not everything.
I've been watching the career of Kanye West for a long time, and I can see that he's had this religious upbringing. He's turned his back on God. He's had drugs and sluts, and he's almost coming full circle. I think that's going to be his trajectory. I think so. Do you think that could be yours? Essentially, we all come back searching for spirituality and end up where we started?
Well, we always get to a point, a crossroads, where you have to ask yourself, what is happening after this and what is the meaning of all this? You start to ask yourself questions, of course. But I don't think I'll go back to how I was raised, because it was a bit more rigid than what I believe. And I believe in a lot more love and equality than I was raised. It was a bit too sheltered, even though I love my parents. I mean, they're crazy and kooky in their own selves and their parents. But But yeah, I think that I am definitely on the search for this kind of spirituality, this connectedness with the universe, and living very consciously. I read a book called The Power of Now by a guy named Eckhart Tolle about living in the present, and that really kind of woke me up in a way and helped me in my songwriting. I mean, I just think that it's evident in some of the songs like Unconditionally and Love Me and This Moment. They all have this kind of deeper meaning to them.
So you're managing to not be jaded.
No, I mean, I'm still jaded, most definitely. But I'm still emotional. You know, I'm still affected when something's genuine. When I see something really genuine, I'm very touched. I mean, there was like a little kid on the way here. I meet fans outside of the hotel rooms all the time, and they're great. Sometimes they're a little overzealous and excited. And then there were just two kids out here as I was driving in, and I just rolled down the window and said hi. And this one kid, his reaction was so genuine and pure and like excited. And you know, he's not one of those people that just tries to collect every autograph from anyone. He's just like, he couldn't believe that this happened to him today. And his emotion was so pure, and it rubbed off on me and made me very happy.
I think I've got to wind it up. Thank you so much.
Thank
Katy.
you. That was a fun interview.